Builder in a Bottle is formulated without harmful ingredients. Vegan, cruelty-free, and made in the USA for professionals. Builder is a revolutionary soak-off sculpting gel made for extensions. It applies like a soft gel, wears like a hard gel, and soaks off when you're ready to remove that length. Cured in our Gel Effects LED lamp and formulated to adhere to the natural nail, you don't need a base coat with this all-in-one brush-on builder gel. Its flexible strength makes the product feel light on the nail, shock absorbent, and long-lasting. Perfect for clients who enjoy endless length, or for the client who could use an extra layer of strength on their natural nails. Compatible with all Gel Effects products, so you can customize your Builder Mani with a glass-like finish or any Gel Effects color. Again, Builder wears like a hard gel, so it's meant to be rebalanced rather than removed after 2 to 3 weeks of flawless wear time. We only recommend removing your Builder enhancements if your client is ready to remove the length and strength of their Builder manicure. Priming the natural nail. So you've prepped your nails and you're ready to start your Builder in a Bottle service. Next, we need to apply our Gel Effects Nail Tip Primer. Now this step is optional, but it's the key to longer lasting services on those heavy-handed clients who always seem to chip or lift before their next service. Again, less is more with this product, and you'll notice the brush is super short, and that's just to prevent you from using too much product. Wipe both sides of the brush off on the neck of the bottle on the way out, and apply a very thin layer to the free edge of the nail. And for any Builder application, you're going to want to apply this to the entire nail surface. A proper layer will dry instantly, and you're ready for your next step. Choosing an application method. Builder is a very versatile product. It can be used to add length or strength to any nail with a quick mess-free application. So it's no surprise that there are different methods for using and applying your Builder enhancement. Make sure you choose the application method that fits your client's needs. The first application method is sculpting on a perfect fit form. This is by far the most customizable method of any application. Sculpting on perfect fit forms gives you the freedom to completely customize any length or shape your client could ask for. Next up is our Gel Effects Fast Forms. This is the easiest application method when you're looking to extend the nail to a limited length with a pure Builder in a Bottle enhancement. Perfect for the client who's looking for a moderate length and natural nail shape. Builder tips will have your clients out the door in no time at all with the quickest application process, so you have more time to paint works of art or take on more clients. Then you have your natural nail overlay. Builder is amazing for adding strength to anyone who's heavy-handed and looking to grow out their natural nails. All of these methods are easily rebalanced after every 2 to 3 weeks of wear. And of course, you can always apply Builder over false nail tips as well, if that's your preferred method of extensions. Application Method 1, Perfect Fit Forms. The perfect fit form is designed to hug the natural curve of the nail with a strong adhesive, to prevent having to reposition your form during application to customize any length and shape of your Builder extensions. Printed on the form are stiletto and square shape guides to help you master these tricky shapes at extravagant lengths. You'll also notice length lines measuring from 1 to 11, so you can be sure you're sculpting consistent extensions from nail to nail. Our perfect fit forms are the easiest choice for customizing the length and shape of your Builder extensions. Perfect fit form application. Start by peeling your perfect fit form off the paper backing, remove the center cutout from the form, and turn the form over to see the white adhesive side. Place the straight edge of the cutout right up to the center of the curved edge. This will reinforce the form to ensure a snug and sturdy fit up to the natural curve of the nail. Gently tear apart the dotted lines at the base of the form. Now turn the form on its side and align and pinch the smaller tabs at the tip of the form to create the basic shape. Your form should look just like this. The adhesive is strong, so to prevent it from sticking to ourselves instead of our client, pick up the form using the 2 separate tabs at the base of the form with your index finger and your thumb on both hands. Slip the form underneath the free edge of the nail, or right up against the edge of the nail plate if there is no natural length. and with your thumbs, press the form against the sides of the finger to keep the form in place. Now this is where you'll close the bottom tabs and adjust the curve of the form to fit snug underneath the edge of the natural nail. Once you're comfortable with the fit, lock it into place by pressing down the 2 top tabs on top of the finger. Proper fit should have no gaps between the nail plate and the form from a front profile, and it should easily reach sidewall to sidewall, where there are no side gaps that can weaken your extension, and the form should be parallel to the finger, not angled up or down. This will give you the straightest extension. Continue on to see how we troubleshoot common form application issues. Troubleshooting form gaps. If you're trying to apply your form and the form falls a little bit short from reaching the corners of the nail, one of 2 things is happening. Your client either has a very deep U-shaped free edge or a high hyponychium, which is the skin that seals your nail bed to your nail plate at the very edge. Either way, it's a simple fix. Gather a pair of small scissors and cut out a little half circle in the center of the form. Follow the dotted line, and depending on the size of the nail, you may need to cut it a little bigger. And now it should slip right into place and reach the corners of the free edge. But what if your form looks like it fits perfect from the top view, reaching both corners of the free edge, but looking straight on you have gaps between the nail and the form? No nail is the same, and some have C-curves that are a little bit more angular. Look at where the peak of the gaps are and mark where they are on your form. Now grab out a small pair of scissors and cut a tiny line where the marks are. This will allow the form to contour to the natural angles of the nail underneath it. But because we didn't cut past where the form sits underneath the nail, the sculpted tip will have a perfect C-curve for a perfect fit. Perfect fit forms, sculpting. Start by wiping one side of the brush off on your way out of the bottle with a nice bit of product on one side. Sculpt the length and general shape of your extension, making sure to overlap the bottom edge of the natural nail. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to clean up the shape later. Once you're happy with your length and you've confirmed it reaches both corners of the natural nail, cure for only 10 seconds. After doing only 1 or 2 nails at a time, wipe both sides of the brush on the neck of the bottle, on the way out, getting only a little bit of product on your brush. Apply a thin layer of builder onto the entire nail surface and the extension. Make sure you get those sides and all the edges. And do not cure this layer yet. This layer is meant to guide the bulk of the product and keep it within the perimeter that you just created. Now grab some more product and gently wipe only one side of the brush on its way out. Float this large bead of product from the center of the base of the nail all the way down to the tip of the extension. Your brush shouldn't be touching the nail. You should just be floating the bead of product. Keep the bulk in the apex area and gently guide the excess down either side of the center. Builder in a bottle is a self-leveling product. That means if we give it a few seconds, it will self-level into place on its own. Cure for a full 30 seconds, and now peel away the secured tabs on the form on top of the finger. Using your thumb, put pressure onto the form on one side of your extension to loosen it. Then peel it away. Using Gel FX lint-free wipe and 99% alcohol, scrub away the inhibition layer or tacky layer, and now we're ready to file and shape our builder extension. Troubleshoot, sculpting your apex. The apex is the highest or thickest part of the nail that you just created with builder in a bottle. The apex ensures proper reinforcement in the stress area. We want to make sure it's centered on the nail from a front view and that it is placed where the stress point is. The longer your extension, the thicker your apex should be in order to withstand the pressure of daily activities. But creating a peak in the right spot isn't always easy. If you're having any trouble keeping height in your sculpted builder nail, after dragging the bead of builder down the nail and leveling out the sides, flip the finger over to let gravity do the work. Make sure your stress area is parallel to the ground, and you'll see within a few seconds how builder will gravitate towards this area and create a flawless apex for you. Turn back over and continue the process by curing to secure it into place. Application Method 2, Fast Forms. Introducing ORLY Gel Effects Fast Forms, made for quick and easy pure builder-in-a-bottle extensions. And they work especially well with builder-in-a-bottle concealer and other colors. These forms are perfect for extending the nail with a limited length for your clients who are looking for something a little less extravagant. If you look closely at your fast form, you'll notice 6 length markers in 2 shapes, square and round. This makes it easy to create a consistent length across all your extensions. And the 2 tabs at the top will help you remove your form with ease. Fitting your fast forms. Your fast forms come in 12 sizes, ranging from numbers 0 to 11, 0 being the biggest and 11 being the smallest. You're going to need to make sure each form fits correctly before creating your extension. So pick up a form that you think would fit the size of your natural nail plate. If it extends past the nail plate on one or both sides, it's too big. If it doesn't reach the size of your nail plate without putting a ton of pressure, it's too small. We don't want to squeeze the natural nail. It should reach both sides of the nail plate without going over for a perfect fit. Now let's get these nails extended. Fast Forms, Application. Grab a medium bead of concealer and apply it inside the fast form, starting at your desired length marker and drag it all the way down to the base of the form. Use your brush to create the desired tip shape and make sure concealer is spread nicely up on the sides and down the center. Here's the real trick. Make sure you do not have a heavy layer of product near the base. You want a very thin layer covering that area that will meet the nail plate so it doesn't overflow when you press it into the nail. And a quick tip, if you're having any trouble distributing the product on the form properly, just let the form sit untouched for a few seconds and gravity will naturally pull all of the excess product away from the base. Now we're going to apply it by gently sliding the base of the fast form back into the base of the nail and firmly tilt the form down onto the nail until the product is visibly pressed into the nail plate. There should be no air bubbles. Let's see this again from the side. Base of the tip down first and tilt down onto the nail plate. Hold this and flash cure for 10 seconds before repeating on all nails. Then give the hand a full 30-second cure before we remove the forms. Fast forms, remove and reinforce. You've finished your full cure and you're ready to remove your form. Pinch the tabs on the form and gently rock side to side to release the fast form. The sculpted nail already looks awesome. Now we just need to reinforce the apex by grabbing a medium-sized bead of builder and floating it down the base of the nail all the way down to the tip. Make sure to reinforce those sides. Depending on the length of the extension, you may need to repeat this step 1 or 2 more times. As a rule of thumb, if your extension hits marker 2 or below on the fast form, you'll only need 1 coat. If it's between markers 2 and 4, you'll need 2 coats. And any markers above 4 will need 3 coats. After curing, make sure to remove the inhibition layer from both the top of the nail and the underside of the tip. Continue on to shaping and finishing for your desired look. Troubleshooting, flooding, and overflow. If you're having any trouble with overflow and you're using the clear builder in a bottle, grab a medium bead of builder and float the bead of builder from the desired length marker down to the cuticle area of the form. And this time, you're going to place the form into your lamp and flash cure using the 10-second setting. Now that you have the bulk of the product cured into the form, you're going to grab a small to medium bead of builder and apply this to the base of the form by holding your brush perpendicular and rocking side to side. Then again, take the fast form and position it right up to the base of the natural nail, making sure to hold it at a 45-degree angle. Then slowly press down until you see the bead of builder cover the entire nail. Continue to hold the form onto the nail as you flash cure for 10 seconds. Repeat on the rest of the nails and do a full 30-second cure. If it continues to flood your cuticle area, you're using too much product. But if it doesn't cover your whole nail plate, you're not using enough. Application Method 3, Natural Nail Overlay. After applying your Gel-Effects Nail Tip Primer to the entire nail surface, grab your builder in a bottle and wipe both sides of the brush on the neck of the bottle on the way out. With little product on your brush, gently seal the free edge, and then apply a thin layer of builder onto the entire nail surface. Make sure you get those sides and all the edges. But do not cure this layer. This layer is meant to guide the bulk of the product and keep it within the perimeter that you just created. Now grab some more product by gently wiping only one side of the brush on its way out. Float this large bead of product from the center of the base of the nail all the way down to the tip. Your brush shouldn't be touching the nail. You should just be floating the bead of product, keeping the bulk in the stress point area, and gently guide the excess down either side of the center. And remember, the longer the natural nail is, the thicker your apex should be. Builder in a bottle is a self-leveling product. This means if we give it a few seconds, it will self-level into place on its own. Cure for a full 30 seconds. And then using Gel-Effects lint-free wipe and 99% alcohol, scrub away the inhibition layer, or tacky layer, and now we're ready to file and shape our builder overlay. Application Method 4, Builder Tips. Head on over to the Builder Tips course for application instructions and troubleshooting. Troubleshooting, heat spikes. If you're curing your builder enhancement and you feel it's getting warm, this is a normal chemical reaction. Heat is generated by friction from the gel molecules bumping into each other as they link up to form a solid state, also known as curing. It's totally normal to feel some warmth when curing gel products. However, sometimes it's more than just warm, it can get hot, and this is called a heat spike. A heat spike is caused by too many of these gel molecules bumping into each other on the way to link up. Clients with damaged or thin nails are a bit more sensitive to this. But there are two ways to prevent this from happening. One is to apply builder with two thinner layers curing in between each, rather than one thicker layer. Less product means less friction. Another way is to make sure that you're curing on our variable heat mode setting. This mode ensures the lowest chance of heat spikes as it gradually increases the curing power in 10-second increments. But remember, if you or your client ever start to feel it getting hot, remove your hand from the lamp for a few seconds, and then you can put it right back in for a full cure. This gives it time to cool down so there are no heat spikes. Troubleshooting, bubbles. If you're applying builder and you notice tiny little bubbles in your enhancement, there's an easy fix for that. First, some bubbles are never a bad thing. Tiny bubbles actually add to the flexibility of an enhancement. So as long as there aren't too many or too large bubbles, your builder enhancement is still going to wear perfectly. However, if you're looking for the glass-like finish, bubbles aren't what you want. Because of the self-leveling consistency, if we overwork or mix up builder too much, it creates air pockets. Avoid shaking or rolling your bottle of builder. There's no pigments or solvents that can separate, so it never needs to be shaken. If you open your bottle and you see a bunch of bubbles, allow the bottle to rest. The bubbles will rise to the top and release over time. This will prevent air pockets from forming during application. Make sure you're lifting the brush straight out of the bottle and gently wipe the brush on the side. The more delicate and gentle you are while removing the brush from the bottle and placing it back in, the less bubbles you'll see. Shaping the free edge. It's time for shaping the free edge. Remember to use a blackboard on natural nails and a Pro Zebra or Buffer File Duo on enhancements for faster shaping. For a square nail, you'll want to hold the file flat up against the free edge at a 90-degree angle to the finger. Move the file back and forth without changing your angle until every part of the free edge hits the file. This will give you the crispest square shape. But please be mindful that the file is not leaning against the tip of the finger when you move back and forth. We don't want to file anyone's skin. For a squoval or more natural shape, start with a square nail and tilt your file from a 90-degree angle to a 45-degree angle, filing back and forth. You'll notice at this angle the file only hits the corners of the square, rounding them out evenly for a perfect squoval. For a round nail, you'll want to again tilt the file so it's flatter to the nail and gradually curve in towards the center. Keep your file strokes shorter near the corners and longer and more curved as you work towards the center. For an almond shape, start with longer file strokes from the corner to center, and as you get closer to the center, use shorter, more curved strokes. After doing this on both sides, use a small, sharp, curved stroke to gently blend the center of the tip to the rest of the shape. Shaping your enhancement. After perfecting the shape of your free edge, the next step is to make sure the surface of the builder enhancement is smooth and the apex is blended well with the rest of the nail. The apex needs to be right over the stress area and centered on the finger when you look at it straight on. Get out your buffer file duo or pro zebra file and start by gently blending the base or the cuticle area from the apex to make sure there's a gentle curve connecting the two from every angle. Next, hold your file flat up against the sides of the nail and gently file away any bulk that can make the nail look a little too wide. Then we're going to connect our sides into the apex by filing diagonally in a slightly curved motion from apex to side until smooth. Make sure both sides are even. You're going to blend the area connecting the tip of the nail to the apex with a gentle curve. You don't want this area to end up too flat, so be mindful of the pressure you're using to shape this area. Then buff the entire nail using the buffer side of your buffer file duo, and you should see a well-balanced, smooth nail from every angle. Cleanse away any filing debris with a lint-free wipe and 99% alcohol, and don't forget to clean up underneath the extension. And now we're ready to finish up. Finishing your builder enhancement. Whether you've sculpted your own extension or you've used Builder to strengthen a natural nail with an overlay, after shaping your Builder nail, you'll have a few options. Finish this naturally gorgeous look with a layer of top coat for unbeatable shine. And if you're looking for a crystal clear extension, add a layer of top coat to the underside of the sculpted free edge. Or continue on with any Gel Effects color or professional lacquer. If your client likes to switch up their color pretty often, feel free to skip the Gel Effects base coat and instead go straight in with your first coat of your Gel Effects color. Refer to the Gel Effects course for curing times and application tips. Fill and rebalance. It's been 3 weeks and you're ready to rebalance that beautiful builder set. Whether it's an extension or an overlay, the steps will be the same. Start by filing away the Gel Effects color down to the builder enhancement. Be careful not to hit the new natural nail growth. Continue filing until all the Gel Effects color and the bulk of the apex is gone. Next, we'll inspect for lifting. If you see any areas that are lifting from the nail plate, now's the time to gently file them away. Prep the natural nail like you would before any service. Push back and remove the cuticle. Buff the natural nail and the enhancement. Cleanse the nail plate with Gel Effects lint-free wipes and 99% alcohol. Then gently apply a thin layer of Gel Effects nail tip primer to the new nail growth. Now you're ready to rebalance that apex. Just like you would for a fresh set of Builder, start by applying a thin layer of Builder to the entire nail from new nail growth to the tip of the extension. But do not cure this layer. Grab some more Builder and float a large bead down the center of the nail, creating a new apex. Guide the excess to reinforce the sides and balance the shape of the nail. Cure for 30 seconds and continue on to your usual shaping and color application. Builder removal. With gel effects, it's important to ensure proper removal to prevent any damage to your client's nails. We're all about nail health and making sure your client's nails look better than they did even before you put that color on. Remember, Builder is meant to be worn like a hard gel, and it's recommended to rebalance your Builder manicures every 3 weeks, and only completely remove your enhancements when necessary. Start by filing away your gel effects color, so you're left with just your Builder enhancement. Then file the apex down with your Pro Zebra file or Buffer file duo. Once the bulk of the nail has been removed, take some straight edge nail clippers and gently clip both edges of the extension if there is one. It should crack across, gently allowing you to remove the majority of the extension. Grab your file again and file away the tip until it's nearly flush with the natural nail. Or if you're removing an overlay, skip this step. Gently file the surface of the nail enhancement until you can start to see the natural nail peek through in tiny spots. Or if you see some lighter areas like this. You can see the natural ridges on the nail here, showing that even though we filed through Builder, we didn't file the natural nail. Once you've finished filing 2 to 3 nails, it's time to start soaking. Get out your Gel Effects foil remover wraps and your ORLY Genius remover. This all-purpose remover is formulated with eucalyptus, peach, and green tea extract to remove your gels, lacquers, and hybrids without stripping away moisture from the nail plate. The whole pad should be covered but not dripping wet. Turn your client's finger upside down and place the cotton pad directly under the nail. Tuck the short side in and wrap the longer side around it. Now twist or fold the excess foil at the tip so it fits nice and snug. File and soak 2 to 3 nails at a time, and by the time you finish wrapping up your last finger, your first one should be ready. Set a timer for 15 minutes. After 5 minutes, if you check the nail, it should look like it's starting to lift. After 10 minutes, the nail should start to peel like this. Place the foil back on, and now you've only got 5 more minutes left. But if you use Easy Off underneath your Builder, keep a close eye on your removal, because as you'll see, Builder will start to peel away from the nail even quicker. Your timer went off and you're ready to get that gel off. It's important to remove one foil wrap at a time, because pulling off all the foil wraps at once will give the remover too much time to evaporate. And your Builder enhancement can re-harden. So remove one foil wrap at a time. You should see Builder start to flake off of the nail. If you can't flake away the product with the pad of your finger, then you probably didn't file enough. Give each nail a second light filing over the whole nail coating. Pop that foil back on for another 5 minutes, and you should see it start to flake off. Using your pusher and remover, and no pressure at all, gently whisk the flakes off the nail. Again, this should require no pressure, no scraping, and the result should be no damage to the natural nail. Lightly use the 280 grit side of your Gel Effects buffer to smooth out any debris left on the nail. If most of the coating flakes off, but there's a little stubborn piece that doesn't want to let go, just file directly on that piece and pop the foil remover back on for 1 minute. Then it should come right off.